slightly heavier and slightly lighter for upper and lower, or lower and upper body. And once everyone's back, we'll get started. Yes? Good. So if anyone has any questions, feel free. And I will get my weights out as well. That would help, wouldn't it? So also, guys, if you want to have a little cushion or a little pad or something for underneath your head, then you can use that as well. I'm just going to be using a lighter set of weights today. So let's get started with a nice standing warm-up. I'm going to pop everyone on mute and obviously just give me a wave or type in the chat box if you've got a question or a problem. So let's start with our feet hip width apart. And we're just going to do a little quick warm up head to toe. So I want you to lift your toes up, give them a little wiggle and press the pads of the toes into the floor. So the aim is that we want to feel really, really grounded through the feet. You can even bend and stretch the knees, give them a little swing just to make sure that they're loose and they're not locked out. We're then going to place our hands on our hips, rock our pelvis forward and back. So quite exaggerated to start, and we make it smaller and smaller until we find our neutral pelvis, which just means where our pelvis naturally settles. You're then going to imagine 3 circles, your hips, your ribs, your shoulders and your collarbone, and they all float one on top of the other. And then I want you to grow 3 inches through the spine. I want you to think of this beautiful vertical line. You're then going to just relax the arms, close the eyes if you feel comfortable, and just take some nice deep inhales through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And as we take that inhale, we send that breath deep into the body. And as we exhale, we gently feel those abdominals engage and the waist narrow. One more breath here, big inhale and release. We're then going to open the eyes and just gently scan the head from right to left, just a few times to get the neck moving. Looking a little bit further over your shoulder as you go. And then you're going to finish with your head to the center. Those shoulders are going to lift all the way up by the ears, and then big exhale, drop them down the back. 3 more like that. Lift and drop. 2 and release. And you can make a big noise as well. Last one and drop. We're going to do 3 big shoulder rolls backwards. 3 and 2 and 1. We're then going to take hold of those shoulders with our hands and do 3 big elbow circles back. 3. Good. Getting bigger each time. 2 and 1. And then we're going to let go of those shoulders. 3 big arm circles, lifting the chest in the process. 3. Nice, guys. And 2. Beautiful. Last one. We finish with our hands all the way up to the sky, and you're going to give me 10 side reaches. So touching the ceiling with the right hand, touching the ceiling with the left hand, elongating through the spine, reaching and lengthening. Yes, yes, yes. So all the time, we've got this really nice feeling of stretch through the body. We're always thinking of a vertical line in osteoporosis, right? We want to go up. We want to lengthen the spine and find space. So you're going to finish your last one by interlacing your fingers and taking your hands behind your head. I'm going to come a bit closer so you can see. And we're going to do a few little chin tucks. So I want you to reach your chin forward slightly. And then I want you to pull your chin back. So you kind of make this like double chin face, right? So we press the chin forward slightly, but then we do a big push back. Push, 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 push. Give yourself a nice double chin. Yeah? The more double chin you get, the better. And the reason that we do this is often, you know, we don't want to end up in this forward head posture. So we want to strengthen, elongate, and lengthen through the back of the neck. You're going to give me 1 more in that position. Then you're going to kind of find a little neutral, yeah, between the 2. You're then going to rotate your rib cage very gently to the right, come back through center, and rotate to the left. So the aim is that we're not going to end range. We're not twisting as far as we can. We are creating gentle rotation through the upper back. So the elbows stay nice and wide. And we just get this very, very nice, gentle movement through the upper back. You're going to give me 1 more in each direction. Lovely. And then once you've finished, you're going to pop those hands onto those hips and everyone's going to give me 10 hip hinges. We're going to turn to the side. You're going to give me the most beautiful long spine you've ever found in your life. Soft bend in the knees, hinging from the hip joint. So I push my hips back, I keep my waist and my spine long and drive the hips forward to lift. Yes, nice. So what will often happen is that back gets lovely and lengthened from the tailbone all the way up to the ribs, and then tendency is to drop the head and let that spine upper back forward. So think of always keeping a little lift in your chest. Think of elongating through that neck. Yes, guys, good work. Good. And this is like your best friend, this move. Yeah, like every chance we get to throw in a hip hinge, the better. Yeah, you need me 2 more. Good, guys. Last one and lift. Really nice. So ladies, it's all perfect. Just be mindful, particularly if you have flexibility in your hamstrings. So if you find you can go down really low, I mean, I can go down really low too, but what will happen is naturally that upper back. So I want you to always think of kind of imagine trying to get your chest forward. Yeah, so that helps us in that extension position and just stops that stooped posture. Yeah, that little lift. So let's grab hold of our weight. We're going to be doing squats. So if you have a heavier set of weights, then you can use your heavier sets. If you've just got one set, that is perfectly fine too. I've just got my little mini ones here with me at the moment. So we're going to do a goblet squat. Yeah, so you're going to hold your weights close to your body, and if you don't have any weights at all, then you can do it exactly body weight as well. You're going to take your legs a comfortable distance apart. There is no right or wrong position for your legs. It's what is comfortable for you. Yeah. We're going to bend those knees, hinge from the hips. We keep our chest up. We go as low as we possibly can, and then we push that floor away. Exactly. So with a hinge, we let the body drop. Yeah. With a squat, we want to keep that chest nice and lifted. And everyone's going to give me 7 more here. Here we go. 7. And up. Yes, guys. 6. Beautiful. 5. Lovely. 4. And I want you to think, right? Push with these outer legs. Yeah. We want to really engage these muscles. You've got 2 more here. Yes, guys, your last one. Can you hold it in that squat? Right? We're going to hold it. And when it gets really tough, we're going to smile. That's the trick. And you're going to give me 10 little pulses downwards. We go 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then we stand up nice and tall. Very nicely done, ladies. So, oh, my nose is running. So it doesn't help when you've got weights in your hand. So the next thing we're going to do, again, if you got your heavier ones, stick with your heavier ones. We're going to go with a reverse lunge. Very, very simple. Stepping back on your right leg, making sure you always step back onto the ball of the foot. Bending both knees, we want to think nice right angles, push off the back leg and step those feet together. Yeah. So always stepping back onto the ball of the foot is what's going to help you in this position. So I would like everybody to give me 20 lunges, alternating sides. And I'm going to come and have a little watch. Exactly. Long spines. Beautiful. When we do this, of course, if you can get that knee to tap the floor, yes, which most of you guys are, then awesome. If you can't, don't worry, right? It's about working for you and your body. Yeah, that chest is up and high. Good. Make sure you've got plenty of space to move. Right? Tendency is to kind of shorten our stance. No, we want to feel comfortable with long stances, long strides. Yeah. And of course, once you've finished your 20 repetitions, you can stand, have a little breather, give yourself a shake out so I know that you're done. Good, ladies. Everyone's technique is looking really nice. Lovely. Really good. Don't forget about that upper body, right? Shoulders back, spine long, grow 3 inches through that spine. Yeah, and once you've finished, have a little breather. Shake it out so I know that you're done. Yeah? Nice, guys. Very, very good. So we've done 2 very simple bodyweight exercises that are easy to level up. So I want you to practice basic squats, basic lunges, and I want you to get experimental this week. Could you maybe do it a little bit heavier? Just a tiny bit heavier, yeah? How heavy is too heavy? The question that you need to ask yourself, if you're doing something and you can do it for 12, 15, 20 reps, easy peasy lemon squeezy, you could probably go a little bit heavier. A little bit, yeah? That's what you want to ask yourself. If it's strength that we're looking for, we need to be lifting heavy. 10 repetitions wants to be difficult. Yeah, that's kind of like your gateway point when you practice these things. Think, you know, is 10 tough? That's when you'll know it, that you're biasing that strength aspect. So let's come and do 2 nice simple upper body exercises. We're going to do an overhead press, okay? Best way, just going to rest those weights on the top of the shoulders, strict press without using your legs. You're just going to push the arms straight up and then control the weights straight down. Straight up and straight down. Good, really nice, guys. Lift and lower. And we're all going to do 7 more together. We go 7 and down. Good work, guys. We go 6 and down. Final 5 and down. Nice work. Last 4 and down. Final 3 and down. Last 2 and down. Last one, best one ever. Big, big push. Control the lower down and then relax those arms. Very nice. We're going to make our way down onto the mat now. So you're going to still need those weights, but probably your lighter ones to hand. So that's a really good push exercise. Now I'm going to show you a very, very simple pull exercise. Now this you can do on the mat. It's pretty supportive. We're going to be on all fours. Now, if you've got hexagonal dumbbells, then you can keep both of the dumbbells in your hands because you're not going to roll away. If you've got round dumbbells, I have them too. I would always keep one arm secure on the floor, yeah? From there, we've got lovely long spine, abdominals lifted. You're going to pull just one arm. Let's start with our left arm. You're going to pull your left elbow up towards the ceiling. And when you get here, I want you to squeeze your arm in really tight, as if you're trying to hold a newspaper underneath your arm, and then release and come back down. And you're going to give me 9 more reps on this side. Pull, squeeze, squeeze, and down. So when you get to that point, there's a little squeeze, right? There's a little hold. We don't just pull and let go. We lift, we find that connection, we slowly lower back down. You've got about 6 more repetitions here. I'm going to come and have a little look. Good, guys. Nice. Pull and down. And with weights as well, it's getting confident, right? And it's knowing how to progress, okay? So that little guide, looking at reps, seeing how high you can lift, adding a tiny bit, could be half a kilogram. It's going to make a difference in the long run. It's just getting that confidence to do it, yeah? Really nice, guys. Last 2 here, and then we're going to switch sides. Beautiful. And then down. Okay, so let's give the other side a go. So we're going to have right hand in. Now long spine, abdominals lifted. Pull the right arm up. Squeeze. You kind of squeeze that elbow in tight. Exactly. Yes, Kay. And then come down. Good. Shoulders are square to the mat. So it's almost, instead of thinking of it going straight up and straight down. So you can see what happens when I think straight up and straight down. I've got no space for my shoulder. When I sweep it back and up, boom, can you see my shoulders free? I've got no tension in that neck. And I'm able to get a little bit more mobility. So that's what we want to think. Think of sweeping the elbow up and back. You've got 4 more here, guys. Really nice work. Last 3. Good. Last 2. Beautiful. Last 1. And then relax. Really nice. Ah, yeah, wrists. Give those wrists a little circle, a little roll. Another important thing, right? We want to load them. Exercise like this is great for it. So let's make our way onto our backs. We're just going to do some nice pelvic curls. We're going to do some abdominal work and then some hip work to finish, okay? So we're going to be lying on our back. Remember, you can always have a little cushion underneath the head if that feels good for you. And if you don't feel super comfortable lying on the mat, don't stress, right? You could always use extra padding like a blanket. You could always take a couple of seconds to just let your back decompress, yeah? Always advise that when you get there, take some nice deep breaths and feel that spine settle on the mat. Important points, tailbone should be heavy. Lower back is soft, right? So if you slide your hands underneath that back, there's no tension. We're not pushing anything in. And we feel that lovely length again through the spine. Now from there, we're going to lift our hips all the way up to the ceiling. One big movement. And then I want you to gently roll down through each vertebra. Tailbone is the last thing. Okay, so big exhale, hips lift in one smooth motion, but then we slowly articulate down through the chest. We scoop the abdominals in, tailbone is heavy on the end. And you're going to give me about 3 or 4 more of these. Yeah. Just checking in, watching the knees. Are your knees in line with your hips? Are you stretching the front of those thighs as you lift those hips into the air? Good. And just gently articulating as you come back down. Really nice, guys. So this helps us to build up that spinal control and spinal mobility, which is difficult to do, right? If we have osteoporosis. It's a catch-22. We got to move our spine, but we got to be mindful of how we move it. So this is pretty low load. Yeah. We want to think of really stretching the front of those hips. Good. That's it. Length in the front of the body. You're going to finish your last one here, ladies. And then come all the way back down. So from there, if you have your weights, we're going to take those weights and we're just going to place them onto the front of those hips. So this is a very simple way you can load up your glute bridge, okay? Main muscles we're thinking about are our hamstrings and our glutes, okay? I'm popping my weights just into my hip crease, okay? And I put my hands there for support. I press my hips straight up towards the ceiling, and then I pop my tailbone straight back down. So I haven't articulated my spine at all. My hips come straight up and straight down. I'll move my hand out the way so you can see. Hips straight up, hips straight down, okay? And this is all about trying to get those glutes to work. So you've got to think really, pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. Press those hips up towards the ceiling. That's it, gang. Good. You're going to give me 5 more here. Lovely. Last 4. Good. 3. Good. Last 2. Yes, your last one. I want you to hold those hips in the air. I want you to push those hips into your weights as hard as you can. Hold it. 5, 4. Squeeze those bottoms. The last 2. Last 1. Come all the way down. Just pop the weights to one side. Draw those knees into the chest. Little tiny breather. Good work, guys. Simple, simple way to add a bit of resistance to a really good exercise. And that's another thing. When you're adding resistance, you want to make sure the position is really secure. Yeah? We're not like holding onto one leg, and you probably see all these crazy things on Instagram. Simple, secure, yeah, especially that's what we want to be mindful of. We want to be really grounded. So let's do a little bit of core work. We're going to go into our infamous dead bugs. Now, if you want to have a little cushion, I always think it helps take a bit of neck tension out. And I would say you want to hold on to maybe one weight, two if you're feeling fancy. One is probably enough. You don't want to be too heavy. Now, before we grab it, I want you to just take both legs up to tabletop position, okay? Now, ideally, as soon as the legs lift, that lower back makes contact with the mat, right? And that's where we want to keep it. We don't need to push our back into it, but we know that it's secure. There's no big curve. From there, you're just going to give me about 10 toe taps changing. Now, remember, there's no bend in our knee. What tends to happen is people love to bend from the knee, right? No, your thigh bone reaches away, your thigh bone pulls back in. Big hip flexor exercise, right? The motion and the core work, the abdominal challenge, comes from being able to maintain those legs in the air for a long period. Yeah, if it doesn't feel good, there's issues with the back, it's not comfortable, you can always keep one foot on the mat. Yeah, there's always a modification. So once you've finished your 10 reps, just draw the knees into the chest, give it a nice little release. Beautiful. So the easiest way to level up our dead bug is to just add those arms. So now we've got legs in tabletop, arms up towards the ceiling. And we're going to go same arm as leg, right? Now, you've got two options. You can leave the leg bent as you stretch the arm away and come back, alternating sides. Keep the knee bent, tap the toe down, bring arm and leg back. Or if you want to make it more challenging, you can lengthen the leg away and pull it back in. Bearing in mind, the lower that you take the arm and the leg, the harder it is to maintain the core and that lovely spine position. Now, we ideally don't want to have the limbs touch the mat. Yeah. That's it. And same arm as leg. Yeah, as we reach back and forward. Nice, guys. Okay. Good. Lovely work. Same arm as leg. Spine stays in that lovely position. There's no arching in the back. There's no arching in the rib cage. You're going to give me one more on each side. And then you're going to draw those knees into the chest. A little tiny breather. Good. How easy was that? Boom. So let's level it up. Yeah. If that felt challenging, you can stay where you are. If not, we're going to grab hold of our weight. Me personally, I like to just use one. And it's quite easy. If you've got a dumbbell, you can hold on to both ends. Now, what will happen, and you can do a little tester now, keeping your feet on the floor. If you've got hold of a weight in your hand, and then you're going to take the weight all the way back behind you, what wants to happen is that rib cage wants to arch. Yeah? And then we get this big, big stretch in the front of abdominals. We get this big, big curve in the back. So you have to press those ribs into the mat. So I want everyone to press those lower ribs into the mat. Feel that engagement at the top of the abdominals. And then I want you to reach that arm back as far as you can without those ribs lifting. And I want you to come back. Yeah? So you kind of find your bite point. How far can you go without losing that rib and abdominal connection? Yeah? So once you've done a few reps of those, you kind of found your bite point, we're going to take those legs up to tabletop position. Okay? Now, we are going to do one leg. So let's do right leg is going to stretch as both arms reach back behind us and then come back. A lot harder on those abdominals, right? A lot more of a challenge. Now we've got resistance and we've got weight as well as the weight of the arms and legs. So we're going to do about 6 more here. Good. Nice, guys. Beautiful. Really watching those bottom ribs. Yeah. Keeping that connection in the top of the abdominals, keeping that core strong. Breath-wise, just keep breathing, right? When it feels hard, when you need that little bit of help, that's when the exhale comes in handy, right? As soon as we exhale, helps us to find that ab connection, yeah? So everyone's going to give me maybe one or more on each side. Beautiful. And then you can hug those knees into your chest. You get 3 little breaths rest. And then I think we're going to level it up again. How does that sound? Do we feel like we can level it up again? Yes. Yes, I think so. So where else can we go? Obviously, both legs are coming off. Double leg stretch. Now, remember, oh, I'm very stiff today. Sorry, guys, I'm a bit slow. Just like the arms, right? When the arms go back, the rib cage wants to arch. When the legs extend, it's going to want to tilt the pelvis forward. So that's why that abdominal work is coming in handy. So we're going to stretch both arms and legs away. And it's like a banana, right? Arms and legs are out, but you scoop your abdominals into the floor. And then you come back in. Yeah. So I like to think like a banana. I reach your arms and legs away, but my abdominals sink down towards the floor and come back in. Yeah. So it's exhale on that out. And we call it a hollow hold. Now, usually in Pilates, you know, we've got our head and chest lifted, and we don't. So it's a little bit harder. So I would advise you to keep your legs not too low. Obviously, the lower the legs are, the harder the exercise is going to be on that pelvis. That's it, gang. Nice. Now, if you find you're losing that, like your pelvis is tilting, you're losing your back work, then just lift your legs slightly. Yeah? Lifting those legs is what's going to make all the difference. Exactly. Doesn't matter how low the legs are. It's about you finding that center with your core. You're going to give me 2 more here. Yes, gang. Last one. Can you hold it out there for 5 seconds, for 4 seconds, for 3, for 2, for 1? Pull those knees in, relax those weights down. Take that little breather. Very nicely done. We've got to be a bit more inventive with our abdominal work, right? Yeah, but it's all about keeping that center solid, understanding that connection and what connections arms and legs are going to have to our center. So from there, guys, let's come and just come onto all fours. We're just going to stretch out that back. Now, I want you to keep your hips high, and you can just push your weight back slightly, but I want you to stretch your hands along the mat as far as you can. You can rest your forehead down, or if it's comfortable, you can keep your eyes forward, looking at your hands. Now, the more we stretch the chest down, you're going to get big, big stretch through your lats, through your shoulders. We want to just open up that chest. You're going to take about 2 deep breaths here. Every time you exhale, you want to relax a little bit more. And then once you've finished your last breath, we're just going to come onto our hands. So we're in an all fours position. And you're just going to give me a little bit of cow pose. So you're going to tilt the pelvis forward, lift the chest, right? That's it. And then just come back to a lovely flat back. And then tilt the pelvis forward, lift the chest into extension. So we get big abdominal stretch after all that work. And center. One more time here. Shine that chest through those arms. Lift, lift, lift. Come back to neutral. From there, we're going to sit back. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Well done, guys. I hope this has helped and you got some clarity with repetitions. Have a little play this week. Challenge yourself. Set yourself a little challenge. Choose an exercise you feel so comfortable with and just see if you can just add a tiny, tiny bit of resistance. Tiny, teeny bit, right? It's confidence, bit by bit. So take care, everyone, and I will see you all next Monday. Yeah?